or for Murkamen to buy a watch. Jesus. Okay, guys, thank you. I don't talk much. Thank you.
Can I go next?
Who is that?
This is Wakili. Can I go next?
No, Lauren was next. So it's Lauren, then you, Wakili.
Thank you.
In that order, kind. Lauren?
Hello, everybody, and I'm just requesting, can Wakili go before me because my baby is kind of like fussy, so maybe he can go before me and then I'll go after him. If you don't
Zero
mind.
pressure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the honor, Lorraine. Hi everyone. I'm glad that we're having this conversation. Allow me to say that lazima tuendelee. We should not, by any means or by any chance, slow down. Actually, the pace should even be increased because the pressure it seems to be working. I joined the space some times ago and got a privilege to air my opinion and say that we were losing a country. Clearly, if Gen Z, we would have not come out to demand back our country. We were clearly on a losing path. We were losing a country. I read a tweet, I think a few days back, of somebody saying that those who were born between 1990 to 2005 have their future completely messed up. And trust me, that is not further from the truth. We have a country that was being literally auctioned to the highest bidder. You have a country where you pay so much for services that you have to beg to receive. You know, we have been silent for far too long. And day and night, our leaders have been increasing cost of things with reckless abandon. A case in point, the cost of acquiring passport was just increased the other day. People shouted, people talked, but because of the mentality, the utadu nini mentality, Kindiki ensured that passed and nobody complained. As Kenyans, we are so soft to an extent that we just accept. We lie low like an envelope. They step on us, but they still say that we are not flat enough. Even getting that passport in the first place became a serious challenge. Systems were just not working. We have a case where we have the programs like Linda Mama that were working for safe delivery. Somebody in their wisdom or lack of it decided that that was not important and decided to take it away. We kept quiet. The cost of university education has suddenly gone so high that education is no longer affordable to the common man's household. Pray tell, I studied a few years back and I was paying 20 to 30K per academic year. Lo and behold, I found out that the same course that I did, the new admission letters had a fee requirement of almost 200,000. And you want to imagine somebody who is from deep in the village, who's never even been to Nairobi, who was told that education is the only key to success, can afford 200,000, and we keep quiet as a country. Then the president comes and tells us that he's refined the funding model for university education. He's so proud of it that our universities were collapsing and now have refined it and everything is fine and he wants to be clapped for. Yet it is not even affordable. It is even cheaper to fly to India or to the UK and do your undergraduate than even study in the University of Nairobi. And it calls that wisdom. No, guys, the Ruto and his ilk have to be called to order. We demand our country back. They're not going, they had their time, they've lived their lives, they've enjoyed, And it is time they allow us the opportunity to run the show, to dictate and determine the course and the path on how we want our country to be led. You cannot come and tell us that I've created 5,000 jobs in the West, in UAE, and you go into the website and listing those jobs, and you realize there are jobs for housekeepers, maids, drivers, and it's just thumping in the night that, oh, I've created jobs in UAE. It should be the first one to gather these children to go and take up those jobs. Let him resign as president and go and take up those jobs. If you think it is something glorifying to go and work as a maid in UAE, it comes and tells us that affordable housing has created jobs, that you go to Mukuru kwa Jega, there are 4,000 Kenyans working. First, does he know even how many people, how 4,000 people, what space they need to occupy? And how many people can even fit in an affordable housing? It tells us it created jobs for architects, engineers. First and foremost, to begin with, if you ask yourself, how many architects do you need in a building complex? So maybe one or two at most. And he brags and he wants us to clap for him that he's done some magic. No, the guy should be called, we should call out his bullshit and tell him to stop lying to us and give us our country back. So the conversation should now shift. At least we are winning. And we are winning because the pressure is increasing. But the pressure should now increase the more. For one, the conversation should now shift to one, no CS that was in his cabinet should be appointed back. Those people have stolen enough. They have done us bad. They should go. Actually, the conversation should now start on when the ESCC should have an appointment with each and every one of them, so that we know how much they were worth when they were getting into office and how much they are worth now. And if somebody cannot explain their wealth, then they should have a case to answer. They should be guests of the state. We should actually they should start visiting the fundis at committee to take their measurements, because that is where they belong. They are corrupt. They are just too bad for the country. We can't have a case where young men and women who 2 years, 3 years back were hiking left and could not even afford fuel to fuel the small vehicles, currently cruising around with cars worth 40 million, 20 million, courtesy of working in State House. A country where corruption is the order of the day, where you're cruising around in latest versions of cars and you don't have any business you're doing, there is no manufacturing you're doing, but somehow you're building very big houses in Karen, buying land left, right, and center, and you want to brag to us, courtesy of corruption, and you want us to clap for you? No. We must take charge of our country, and we must be sane enough to say that enough is enough. So a few things that we need to address. One of them, for a very long time, jobs in the public service has become a mess. Like even getting opportunity to be employed in the public service. How many years have they frozen employment in the public service? And then when we, who are learned, who are graduates, we apply, we are told there is an internship program. You go for that internship for 1 year, you're paid little money, and by the time you're there, somebody is sent on permanent and pensionable basis from the office of the deputy president. Oh, mimi baba yangu anajuana na fulani. Mimi baba yangu anajuana na waziri fulani. I've gotten a permanent and pensionable job. And we, who are children of nobody, who have no connection, who have no big second name, cannot get those jobs. But after 1 year, you throw out to the street in the name of our internship is done. And yet you want us to clap for you and listen and say you are the hero? No. We demand for a change, and that change has to happen. So the public service has to work. Another thing in the public service, we have old guards, people beyond 60 years. As a matter of urgency, those people should be retired like ASAP, like yesterday. The people who are in the public service who are 70 years, people whose contract long expired, and are serving on extended contracts. Why do we need them when we have millions of Kenyans who are so dedicated, so determined, and can work, but they cannot get those jobs. Let the old ones just go home. Let them go and take care of their chicken at home. Let them go and take care of cows and goats. Let us work. We who have the energy. And Ruto should also be told that government tenders should be given to qualified individuals. We cannot have a case where the government tenders is being auctioned among us, the who is who. We have cases of the CSS keep the government tenders and then distribute them among us their cronies in parliament. So we have the parliamentarians, the MPs, and the CSS, like they have formed a cocoon where they are the only beneficiary of government tenders. And we who are learned, we who also deserve to be part of those particular programs, cannot get those opportunities. So it is high time we tell them off. It is high time we take back our country. And there is this budget line in our budget called foreign travel. I think we should, as a country, we need to limit foreign travel to only either the office of the president, that is the presidency, office of the attorney general, the foreign affairs office, the ministry of trade, and probably the treasury. Maybe for discussion on bilateral agreements and for discussion of any trade agreement. But I don't see a reason where Parliament can have a budget of foreign travel more than even the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. What does my MP got to do to go and do in India? What does he got to do to go and do in Italy? What has he got to do and go and do in the US? My MP should, if he has to travel, let him come to my constituency, because that is where his people are. If he wants to travel, let him. If he wants to travel out of the country, let him travel out of on his own coast. We cannot have a case of MPs who are traveling like this weekend. I'm in Singapore. Next weekend is in Dubai. The following weekend is this place. Some MPs take years before they even come to the constituencies. So Parliament should ideally not even have a budget on foreign travel. And there are also State House is very State House is in a position where they are giving jobs for people for positions that are not even legal. It will surprise everyone on this space that the position of the head of public service is not even in our constitution. It is unconstitutional. The position that was returned of Mudavadi, of Prime CS, that position is unconstitutional. Why do we keep quiet when Ruto is giving out positions that are unconstitutional? So as a priority, those unconstitutional officers should be abolished. And in fact, those people who are holding them should cease to hold them forthwith and even refund the taxpayers' money earned out of occupying those positions. But that is not even an issue. You go to State House, you find State House has more than 100 legal advisors. Why do you need 100 legal advisors? If you look on Facebook, you just search legal advisors in State House. You'll get so and so State House legal advisor, director legal advisor, director legal advisor. Like you wonder why State House, a government with a fully fledged Ministry of Office of the Attorney General keeps more than 100 legal advisors in State House. And why does the same State House have communication experts of more than 50 individuals? There is Talam, there is Gerald Bitok, there is Hussein Mohammed, there is Siji so and so, there is Najma Ishmael. Everyone is in charge of communication. You wonder, yet whatever they are even discussing is something we can access on Twitter. Why do you need more than 50 communication guys in State House? For what for? And then why also do we need a government spokesperson? We need a deputy government spokesperson. We need another deputy government spokesperson. Why do we need all those positions when we can only listen to one voice at a time? And that guy called the current government spokesperson one is enough. Why do we need three? So Ruto had gone to a point where he was now rewarding cronies with reckless abandon. If he wants to reward them, let him employ them in his own farm. Let him pay them from his own pocket. But we are not going to allow taxpayers' money that is hard-earned to be used to reward cronies and to be used to make deals that are not beneficial to me and you, to the common man. So we have to increase the pressure. We have to tell him off and increase the pressure. We cannot have a government where things are just not working, where things are not moving, where our voice as citizens cannot be heard. It is painful that last year we lost 75 people, more than 75, when we were agitating against the finance bill in 2023. But you see the advantage which politicians have, they divide us along tribal lines. And that is that is the point that has really made this revolution become successful, because we are not driven by matters tribe. It is tribeless. Last year, Ruto was chest thumping and telling everyone who cared to listen that go and pass that bill without even replacing a comma. And true to his words, the cows called parliamentarians passed it without replacing a comma. And what did you see? Housing levy, increase in cost of literally everything. And this year, when he was I remember when he was attending the graduation ceremony in Garissa. After the ceremony, he was addressing guys at the roadside, and he was telling them, I've told your MPs to go and pass that bill so that next week we can start doing A, B, C, and D, speaking with a lot of authority. But it is good we've told him off and shown him who the real owners of the country are. So as I finish, I want us to increase the pressure more and more and tell Ruto that, one, we do not expect any of the 22 CSS that he has dismissed back to the cabinet. Two, we do not expect any politician. This is not a time for Azimio to come in. This is not a time for Raila to prompt his people like Joe, people like Oparanya, people like whoever mentioned them. Any politician, we do not expect any politician back to the cabinet. We want a cabinet of technocrats, a cabinet of people with checkered career. Kenya is a citadel of talent. Kenya has more than enough. And somebody tell him that success is not finding for Kenyans job abroad. Kenyans success is finding jobs for Kenyans in their own country. Let him give us a conducive business environment. Let him create jobs in Kenya. Let Kenyans who are away to take up jobs in Kenya and take part in building our nation. So we want to build our nation in our own country. Kama yeye anataka kwenda kufanya kazi ughaibuni ama nje, let him apply to be the president of Germany. We do not care. He can even apply to be the president of Brazil. But if he's looking for a vote to be the president of Kenya, then let him create jobs for Kenyans in Kenya. So as I finish, we need a cabinet of technocrats and even the PSS. After he's done with setting up the CSS, the PSS, he should also reduce the CSS from the 50 number to less than 30. We want a government that is lean, a government that is efficient, and a government that works for the people. And we are going to ensure that it is our way or the highway. Ruto has to ship in or ship out. Otherwise, thank you so much, and tuendelee na hii pressure. Asanteni sana.
Very nice, very nice. Something to note pia, nacheki tuko na wasanii huku kwa nini, kwa space yetu kuna kina Nonini, kuna Shanky. Pia mnaweza request mic, mnaweza tuimbia songs of freedom. Na hata nashangaa mbona hata na mention na wapatia hiyo time yote mnafaa mngekuwa huko nje mnaimba, mnatoa mangoma against the government, lakini nyinyi mmekaa tu, kazi ni kusikiza space instead ya kuandika mistari. Sometimes you disappoint me, but anyway, moving on swiftly.
5 people, can I just make a comment on representation? 1 minute.